Hey guys, Ferronox here. This is going to be a semi-public video. I forgot to get the entire reason I went up there. Lag or teleport? Okay, we'll just wait on it. As some of you may or may not know, this channel, Skessteross Network, is entirely here for, to some extent, group content for those of us on the Skessteross server. But also for administration purposes, rules updates, you know, admissions stuff, general things that I, as the admin of the server, want to go through. And I'm not the only person, you know, working as as a mod on the server. I have actually given that status to James and Marshall as well, just because they are the most frequent players on the server and they're fairly knowledgeable about the game. To that extent, and while I'm talking about all this, I'm just going to kind of fix my house a little bit because I haven't gotten a chance to do it yet. To that extent, I got with them recently because I've been meaning to update the rules to reflect our change between Tech It and Feed the Beast, because I hadn't changed the rules yet, and there are some things that just needed to be addressed that are different between the two, you know, between the two different games, the two different mod packs, and they are essentially entirely different games. The game changes so drastically, well, not drastically, but to some extent, when you change mod packs like this. So I hadn't had a chance to do that, but I have now. And what I'm basically going to do is, while I'm fixing my house here, while I'm replacing the floor, breaking things that need to be broken, I really need a scoop for that. I'll wait on that one. I'm going to read off the rules as a whole, and let this kind of serve as a administration thing. This is my notification to the members of the server. The rules have changed. Here are the rules, and for those looking to apply, you may be viewing this on the Skessteross.net website on the applications page, and this is your guide to the rules, so that if you choose not to, you don't have to view the document yourself that is linked on that page. So that said, let's just get right into it. I'm going to be reading out only the server rules, not the admissions requirements. We do have some admissions requirements, so if you're looking to be admitted to the server, if you're looking to apply for admission to the whitelist, please look at the admission requirements as well. First and foremost, because those are a thing, and we actually take some extent of pride in the fact that we actually pay attention to who we let on the server, because we are a content server, and just kind of put some more emphasis on that. The server is here for us to make visual content via, you know, either screenshots of builds or actual videos, and as such, you know, there are some requirements that require your willingness to participate in that. So, without further ado, we have the server rules. First and foremost, probably one of the most important rules is the wonderful no public destruction without majority consent. Server members will vote with signs in the town hall, which is still under construction on this map, on whether or not you may use explosive items. Use of such items without group consent will result in an immediate ban. Consider items like the excavation wand, quarry, turtle, and mining laser instead. Now, the basic idea is you don't want... I'm like fervently asking you not to use TNT, you know, dynamite, nukes for mining. Please do not do this. Especially do not do this around public buildings. There is some extent, obviously, that this can be allowed. Say, if you're on your own personal land, this is actually allowed. As long as you are only destroying land that you have claimed and intend to use to build or are going to fix at some point, then cool, do it. I don't care. But this is a rule that, you know, all of these rules I did discuss with Marshall and James, and these are the things that we decided needed to stay or needed to be added, so please bear with me on that. So for the most part, just try not to destroy anything that might, you know, be actually, you know, necessary, because you will get banned. If you make shit look absolutely unbearable on the server, if you do stupid shit that ruins people's games, you're gonna get banned. It's flat out. So, I mean, we already had this. This is one of the major reasons I've even put in this rule, is the lovely fact that someone on the Tekkit server, shortly after its inception while I was in APG, decided to set off a nuke in the desert. Now, granted, this didn't destroy anything, but none of us knew this was going to happen, and all of us were pretty much furious. And this resulted in an immediate ban for him, and then, you know, I had to actually download the map and try to make it work in MC Edit, because I didn't have anything better at the time, so that we could, you know, not have this gigantic freaking hole in our world. 2 of them, in fact. So that's the entire reason that that rule exists. The next one, and some of these are familiar, some of these have not changed, so let me say that as well. The next one revolves around YouTube video descriptions. It is a request of me that you guys put something about the server. Yes, it's a whitelisted server. It is private. You may apply here, and there's a guided little thing that I posted in this document that everyone who gains admittance to the server should be seeing. So yeah, basically it's just, Skessteross is a private whitelisted server. If you would like to apply, go here. This is our service provider. If you would like to see pricing for their services, you may go here. So basically, I am taking advantage of, in our server provider now is CreeperHost. It was Kerplunk, and I did have an affiliate link for that, but I am taking advantage of that affiliate link, not for any reason other than anyone who gets, you know, anyone who is referred to them, we get a little bit of a credit for that, and I can use that credit to, you know, upgrade the server, help me pay for the server. It's just little things. I'm looking for hoppers right now because I need to bake some more stone. It's just the little things that help us out and keep the content flowing to some extent. Keep the server up, keep the build screenshots coming, keep you know, keep us playing the game. So if any of you, like the viewers, if any of you find that irritating, YouTubers, if you don't want to put that there, please be aware that I have my reasoning here. And that reasoning is that I just need to be able to say, I cannot find my hoppers. I need to be able to say that I need that potential extra help with the server, because my funds themselves are not exactly solid. There may come a time when I have issues paying for the server, and if that time comes, I need that extra assistance. So that aside, and obviously we want the information that says, hey, you're looking into joining a private server. If you'd like to, please apply here. The next rule is, do not change any player's area in any major way without their consent. This includes stealing a large amount of items, breaking machinery, wires, or pipes that upset any large setups. Now, I did add a special little thing in there that says, small thefts, borrowing, and pranks are allowed. Essentially, just don't break anything big. Now, those of you who are familiar with Tekkit and Feed the Beast understand that a lot of the time, big operations have to be built to make things work. I mean, just look at our sorting system. Let me get over there and I'll kind of use it as an example for this. If someone were to steal 20 pieces of pipe and all 5 of our transposers and the timer, first and foremost, it can be somewhat expensive to replace these things. But it would break the system. The quarry would end up filling up this chest here, and we wouldn't have anything else coming through the system. We have a really large system here, and granted, our recycler here is not working currently, and that needs to be fixed with a valuable thing. But, you know, if anyone were to take this setup right here, the whole thing would be busted. We'd have to fix it. We'd have to make new stuff. That's not exactly acceptable. The same thing, like, a lot of people, like, think mass fabricators, large assembly lines. If you break this stuff, it can be expensive and time-consuming to fix them. So it's more out of a courtesy that you don't do this. Now, if you were going to fill a supply chest with something that wasn't going into the system, but left everything that went into the system that was normally in that chest in there, and just like kind of changed up the system so that it was making something different, I think that would be okay. But it's still, it's kind of a your discretion kind of thing, but it's better to err on the side of caution and not screw up someone's expensive stuff than to you know, wreck their base as a prank and expect to get away with it. So it kind of goes in line with the no destructive stuff. Going on to the next rule, this is one actually has to deal with how we decide our areas, how we decide where to build. And for the most part, we decided to keep the rule of no further than 5,000 blocks. But the rules have changed to some extent. The rules used to be you can build anywhere 1,000 blocks from spawn, which is, you know, that one spot where you actually spawn. This time around, we actually have this wall here, which to some extent looks like it's been edited a little bit for the sake of the NPC village, which is understandable. But this wall is the official what is the word I'm looking for? Barrier between public land and private land. Now, these holes right here were made by public machinery. We don't want to quarry out, you know, the public building areas, which is this whole area, this whole walled-in area. But this is the dividing line. That's what I really should have gone with. Between this is stuff that can be readily messed with unless otherwise stated, like my house. And this stuff, don't touch it. Don't touch it unless it's labeled as a public item. So there's your guideline, and you can build up to 5,000 blocks away from spawn. Because for us, we haven't really had a way to change the spawn location. So I think spawn is still like right here, even though we have a semi-town hall here to do the things. But it's obviously you can build 1,000 blocks out from there, or 5,000 blocks out from there. We just don't want to make the world size too big, because then RAM becomes an issue, hard drive space on the server becomes an issue, etc., etc., etc. You guys get the point. Another rule is do not overuse world anchors or chunk loaders. Please only load areas that require unsupervised automation and have proper overflow protection. Now, I was probably the biggest one about breaking that rule on TechIt, because what I would do, because I didn't have the proper overflow protection, but I had a very large, very automated area. So the major guideline is if you have a sorting system, if you have assembly lines, if you have anything that needs to be running consistently, or that you greatly benefit from it running consistently, that's where you want to have a chunk loader or world anchor. Now, chunk loaders are obviously the better choice in Feed the Beast, because they are cheaper and don't actually cost an item to run. But for the most part, the best guideline is just only put it where it's actually absolutely needed. So that's what we're kind of going with. The next one is in regard to Tesseracts. This is a new rule because Tesseracts were not in Tekkit. So the basic rule is if you're going to use a private Tesseract, if you're going to use it for private stuff, but you're still using a frequency on the public channel, which first and foremost you honestly shouldn't be doing. That's why you set your Tesseracts to owner only. But if you're going to make a new frequency on the public channel, please label it, please claim it. Please make sure that we know it is yours so that we're not accidentally using it for something that we don't understand it's going to. This way we don't have problems of communication. God dang, my base looks so small now. Now that the sorting system is in here. Just please be aware that we may get confused. So you have to be ready for us to, you have to make sure that we understand what's going on. Another new rule, and I'm kind of running out of things to do. Oh, actually, I gotta fix my roof now. Another new rule is that the players on the server have now been allocated what we call recommendations. Every player has a certain amount of recommendations, and it is very limited. It's actually 3 recommendations per player. Now, what the recommendation is if you as an applicant know someone on the server or friends with someone on the server, or as a player you would like to see one of your friends added to the server, it is imperative that you take the time to basically fill out the application for them. We get to set up a Google Doc for recommendations, and what that basically does is, I want this person on the server. This is why they should be added. This is their play style. Please add them to the server. And what will happen is we will look at this. Several of us will get a chance to look at this and yay or nay this recommendation. If any of us know this person and absolutely dislike them, then, or are looking at their play style and thinking, well, I don't think we can, I don't think I can support this person. I don't think I can, support their play style. If enough of us, are thinking like that, obviously we're not going to want to let them on because we don't want to disrupt the nature of the server too much. And I just ran out of stone again. But obviously this will be our way of kind of being able to circumvent the application process to some extent. Now, those of you who are watching this at the application process, please just go ahead and do the application. If if you're going to approach any of us as, hey, you should recommend me for the server. I don't know you. There's no reason why I would do that. There's no reason why any of us would do that. And quite simply, if I find out someone's doing that, I may very well take action against them, because that's kind of silly and, entirely against the point of the whole recommendation system. So please be aware, that kind of bullshit ain't going to be tolerated. Moving on, we were having an issue, and this mostly goes to Marshall, aka NanoCube. His username has changed. And that is, opt players should only use their powers for server issues and only move or play as a normal player. This does mostly go to Marshall, and he has acknowledged his behavior in this, in that he was using his powers to teleport everywhere instead of using teleporters or some other kind of, some other kind of transportation device, like a teleporter or something like that, rail cart, anything like that. It is advised to go ahead and do the things as an opt player, and opt players are not going to happen very often on the server. It is very much advised, if you're going to be opt, to go ahead and use the means that any other normal player is going to have to get places and do things. Do not spawn items in, etc., etc., etc. General stuff. General kind of obvious stuff. Another issue we were having is problems between players, where the players were coming to people who were not involved, mostly me. When Alec accidentally broke Marshall's mob spawner because of a creeper, he came to me and said, hey, let's fix this. And I helped him. But I shouldn't have. I should have said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to help you with this. Take this to Marshall because it's between you and him. And after that incident, I said, okay, from now on, guys, you need to handle this yourselves. If you can't handle it yourselves, then take it to a mod, either me, James, or Marshall. So that's the ruling from now on. If you have a problem with another player, please, please, please take it up with them before you involve someone else. If it can't be resolved between the two of you, then one of us will help you handle it. Another one is each player should claim a 2-color combination for personal use with ender chests. That's what this is right here. This combination should be used for all of that person's ender chests. Now what this does is it allows us to assign a certain amount of ender chests combinations to each person. Personally, I've chosen green and yellow, just the dark green and yellow, because, well, that's what I had on the previous server, and I used green, yellow, white for my sorting system. Okay. Let's actually just turn it off. This way I can have my own set of stuff, and, you know, we can have all kinds of amazing color combinations between those two colors that will allow quite a number of players to be able to use the ender chest system as they please. It is kind of advised to use ender chests over tesseracts to some extent, because tesseracts are still a little bit buggy and the ender chests are more reliable, but obviously you can't use ender chests to ferry liquids. I don't even need this anymore. I'm good here. So I'm just going to kind of sit down and let it be for now and just kind of finish this whole thing. There's not much left anyway. The other thing, and I actually need to fix this while I'm thinking about it, the last rule is do not, under any circumstance, please, dear God, use white, white, white for anything. Now, some people may not like that particularly, but there is a specific reason. And I need to fix this because we just only recently decided this. White, white, white is officially our, or will officially be our sorting system color. Now let me make sure that, oh right, I'm lagging. Let me make sure that that's been done. See, this hasn't been changed yet. These need to be removed from here. But when that happens, I'm going to switch all the chests in the sorting facility to white, white, white. The reason this is a rule, do not use that color, is because if we use the sorting system, and I don't have any more daffodils right now to change this back. If we use the sorting system as a chest, it's not going to work. What's going to happen is if you try to use it just as a regular ender chest, all your stuff's going to get sucked up into the sorting system. It will immediately be consumed by this, and then you'll have to go hunt down all the items you just put into it. So it is highly, highly advised that you not do that. It's just for your own safety. It's so you don't lose stuff. Like if I put this stack of cobblestone in here, look at it go. You may realize your mistake and have enough time to snatch a few things out, but you've lost probably a good stack of stuff by then. So it's just a rule meant to kind of let everyone know that they need to be careful with that. But that's it. I don't know how long this video is. I'm just using Fraps flat out to record it, so I'm hoping the voice came out okay and didn't lag at all, but that's okay because I'm not really commentating, so it's workable. And yeah, that's it. That's our official rules for the server from now on. Those on the server, if you have a problem at all with the decisions made that created this rule system, let me know and we can discuss further changes. And of course, as soon as those changes happen, I will make sure that they are reflected on the public Google document so that applicants aren't affected by that change in any adverse way. So that said, thank you for watching. Those on the server, thank you for doing so. It means a lot to me that you guys are keeping up with the rules. A new applicant, you're kind of required to, in some case, understand the rules before you apply. So thank you for watching. That means a lot to me that you have taken the time to understand what the rules of the server are. And with that, I'm out. This is all I had. And I will see you guys next time, either for a group event, hopefully that'll come soon, or, you know, more admin stuff. See ya.